Hello, everybody. Welcome back. A major winter storm is set to take place over the United States. You can see the beginnings of that precipitation right now as far north as Montana down into Oklahoma and the Texas panhandles, as well as the Great Lakes region. High pressure system located in Canada causing very cold temperatures into the United States. That's part of why we will be seeing this very cold temperatures and wintry precipitation as far south as perhaps even the Texas and Mexico borders, as well as well into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, South Carolina as well. So again, a very significant storm set to take place here now. Light precipitation already in Texas and the Texas Panhandle. As we head into tomorrow, or later this afternoon, we're looking at the snow advancing into the Central Plains better, along with a little bit of frozen precipitation near the Red River, Texas Panhandle areas. We're looking at currently mostly rain near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll continue to monitor all of those things as the transition to snow and wintry precipitation in North Texas occurs later this afternoon heading into this evening. Again, this radar projection is around midday, and as we head into the evening, you can begin to see North Texas having more of a sleet type precipitation, and that snow advancing into central Nebraska and central Kansas as well. So overall, at this point, by the time we get to this evening, this is just the very beginnings, not super heavy precipitation, but it's beginning to happen, and you can see how far south we're already at by the time we get to this evening. And again, rain south of all of that, and we'll head into Saturday around midnight, a little before midnight. So I guess still Friday night. We're looking at snow still in the Central Plains area, sleet located along the Oklahoma, Texas, Red River area. And in that magenta color, just south of the purple, you can see frozen rain. I'm going to highlight that here now. And then you can see rain south of that. That's where things are going to be the most dangerous, at least with this part of the storm, is going to be the area getting frozen rain. Again, we're looking at potentially in excess of half an inch of ice in some areas. Probably not this area particularly, but we'll show at the end of the video the snow and ice accumulations expected with this storm. For now, just see that there will be wintry precipitation, perhaps even into the Dallas-Fort Worth area by late this evening. As we head to midnight, now this is midnight, you can see a heavier band of snow located from Amarillo all the way over into the Little Rock area, Oklahoma City and Tulsa as well, which I just highlighted. That sleet in purple and that frozen rain, freezing rain in magenta, and snow north of that into Nebraska and Kansas. We'll begin to see this system move off into the eastern portions of the United States. The Ohio Valley region has to pass through the Mississippi Valley first, and let's move on to Saturday morning. Saturday morning, again, that heavier area of snow located along that sleet snow transition line. That'll take place again from Amarillo all the way over to Little Rock area, cutting through places like Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Again, sleet south of that, lighter snow to the north, and freezing rain south of that, heading into central Texas at this point, perhaps even as far south as the Texas-Mexico border. Again, that is a major concern as well as the heavy snow, kind of the Goldilocks area there in where the sleet's at, because it's not going to be a whole lot of accumulation. You can kind of shovel it like snow. I guess many people in Texas might not have shovels. But behind this, we begin to see the beginnings of a second system. And so we watch that second system as we watch the first system as well. Again, by the time we get to mid-morning Saturday, very heavy snow located throughout the area, northern Arkansas, heading into Tennessee as well. Tennessee really needs to be watching this system carefully. That high pressure system resulting in cold temperatures throughout much of the northern portions, the eastern portions of the Midwest. Let's go with that. And that is kind of going to prime that portion of the country for what will happen here with the rest of this system and what will happen as we head into the second system as well. A little bit of freezing rain remains in the South Central Texas, heading into northern Louisiana as well. By the time we head to Saturday afternoon, we finally see a little break in precipitation for the Texas-Oklahoma panhandles into central Oklahoma as well, which is great news, something we desperately need. But that's kind of the separation, really, between the first and second storm. With that, again, heavy snow still expected for areas like the Missouri Panhandle heading into Tennessee and Kentucky, as well as sleet located south of that in the purple. And then as we head into the magenta, you still see a little bits and pieces of freezing rain in that area. So just something to really keep an eye on. Again, as you can see there, what I just circled, that's the first system. And then that we kind of had that gap, and then you can kind of see the second system, or the beginnings of the second system over the Rockies. As we head into late Saturday night, Saturday evening, somewhere in there, we're beginning to see, again, the system advancing, kind of elongating in a way, if that makes sense, from east to west or west to east. Yeah, it is actually kind of elongating backwards in some sense of the word. It's elongating backwards. Again, heavy snow located along the Tennessee and Kentucky borders. Frozen rain, again, freezing rain possible as far south as the Texas and Mexico borders. So, again, this is very serious. These icing concerns are something we really need to be noticing. Perhaps even Mississippi, northern Mississippi as well, beginning to see heavy ice during this period. Note that there might be some of the highest ice totals that we'll see from this storm will be in Mississippi. So those things all need to be considered with that first system. You see, again, the second system developing behind it, which I believe I'm about to highlight on the screen. There we go. I had to re-record this video because it didn't record my sound the first time. Very unfortunate. Let's move on to Saturday night. You see the first system located in the Ohio Valley heading into the mid-Atlantic. You see the second system behind that down into Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Again, a very significant system there. You see frozen rain all throughout, especially northern Mississippi, heading into Tennessee as well. Heavy snowfall located in Kentucky and West Virginia. Light snowfall located in the traditional Midwest area, perhaps even into Chicago as well. This will be very significant. There, it won't be significant in terms of snowfall, perhaps more significant in terms of impacts. Again, that heavier snow corridor heading into the Appalachian Mountains, perhaps even southern Ohio as well. Places like Portsmouth, Cincinnati need to be monitoring that very closely. Out further to the west, places like Amarillo, again, going to have a significant amount of snow. And like I mentioned not too long ago, that significant amount of freezing rain, perhaps even into places like Atlanta, North Georgia, portions of Tennessee need to be monitoring that magenta color, that freezing rain, very carefully as we head into that. You can see a little pocket of the lack of moisture between the first and second systems remaining, but that will get gobbled up here and filled in with more moisture as we head into Sunday morning. And here we are, midnight Sunday. The storms essentially combined at this point. A little lighter snow all the way from Missouri into central Ohio, but we are seeing heavier areas of snow over in the D.C., Baltimore, perhaps even Richmond area as well, maybe even Philadelphia. At that, very heavy icing in Tennessee, North Georgia, Mississippi as well. Again, that gets very significant at times, and heavy snow all the way back into Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Amarillo, in that area as well. So significant winter precipitation continuing as we head into midnight Saturday into Sunday. Just a lot going on here. Again, that purple is like I said earlier, the Goldilocks area, where we're not getting a ton of snow, and we also aren't getting ice that's going to down those power lines, especially once we get to around the 1/4 inch mark, which will happen at a relatively widespread area with this system. So all of those things need to be considered very carefully, as well as all of that snow to the north. Perhaps even heavy at times. We could see rates in excess of 1 inch an hour for sure, especially in those heavier regions during this time period, Saturday into Sunday. That's going to be, again, the Virginia area, perhaps even Oklahoma and Texas as well. The heavier snow, again, remains near the sleet line. The lighter snow north of that, perhaps even having breaks in the precipitation at times Sunday morning in places like central Ohio, central Illinois, central Indiana, Missouri, portions of Kansas as well. It will begin to taper off that far west, actually. The heavier snow will be located along the Ohio River, almost exactly down I-44 through Oklahoma, and the heavier ice will be located from basically the coast all the way down into perhaps even the Houston-Galveston area, which is crazy that we're having ice that far south, but that's quite the possibility. And again, once again, you can see highlighted in magenta the Jackson, Mississippi type area with significant icing possible. Sunday evening, we skip ahead 9 hours here, a little bit of a big skip, but that's what we did. The snow shield, it begins to look more like a solidified single system storm once again. A couple few areas of icing located there. Again, those heavier snow areas, perhaps an inch or more, perhaps even some severe thunderstorms down south in Mississippi, Alabama as well, which could be brutal in the wake of ice. Even the littlest, tiniest bit of wind in that area after that amount of ice that's going to be in Mississippi and Alabama, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, you have a big storm come through, a severe storm with even a little bit of wind, maybe not even at severe limits, good luck to your power lines. Just make sure you have a plan in place, have blankets, things like that. As I'm highlighting there, potentially even tornado potential as well embedded within those higher winds in Alabama heading into Georgia as well. Perhaps significant icing along the Ohio River area, Portsmouth heading into Wheeling, Charleston, that sort of area. Again, this is going to be Sunday evening. At this point, high amounts of snow continue from Illinois all the way over to the coast heading into Massachusetts and New York and the like. As we reach midnight Universal Time, which is late Sunday evening, you begin to see a gap in precipitation along the Ohio River area, but still the backside of the system remains somewhat strong. The front side of the system remains stronger and remains the strongest, as is proper with the low pressure system located where it is. That front side is generally going to be stronger. The back side is generally going to be weaker. And along that snow sleet transition line, which I've mentioned multiple times, will be the heaviest snow. And you can begin to see by the time we get to a little before midnight Sunday into Monday, the significant icing occurring throughout portions of the mid-Atlantic region, such as Virginia, North Carolina, places like that. Lighter snow back in Ohio and Indiana. Again, this is Monday morning. I would generally expect at this point in time for everybody to be aware of the implications this could have for the Monday morning commute. We'll talk more about that here as we advance to the next hour, which is Monday rush hour time frame. Briefly, a little more snow in the Northeast. This is around midnight Monday. Just wanted to briefly point that out. And again, that snow kind of beginning to taper off in the Ohio, Indiana region. As we head to the rush hour Monday, expect work, school, things like that to be canceled throughout basically that whole region that I encircled there. Maybe not portions of northern Missouri or portions of Kansas, places like that. I'll cross that out there. There you go. But due to the ice and snow, you aren't going to have school Monday there. You aren't going to have school Monday, probably even in the Northeast as well. The snow's ongoing Monday morning still in Ohio, greater Appalachian region. It's just not going to happen. The snow's ongoing fairly heavily still over New York, Maine, New York all the way over to Maine. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically that. No school Monday, probably for most of the United States. I could probably say the same Tuesday as well, due to the amounts of snow. You see the 12-inch or more chance. The Weather Prediction Center putting a 70% chance of a foot or more of snow for much of Pennsylvania into New York, perhaps even the Boston area as well, perhaps the Tulsa area as well. And we could see extensions on that even into the Ohio Valley region. And then we move up north as well due to the lake effect snow that's occurring in anticipation before this storm, we could see the Buffalo area perhaps also in excess of a foot, which isn't completely unusual for them. As I was mentioning in the first time I tried recording this video, Columbus, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, Steubenville, Portsmouth, those sorts of places could begin to see a foot of snow. That's a distinct possibility. Again, the chance of 18 inches is higher by the time you get to Pennsylvania, but it's not out of the question for places like, say, Chillicothe, right in the middle of that. Cincinnati, certainly a possibility. Steubenville, definitely a possibility as well. But in particular, we're looking at Pennsylvania and New York for that more significant snowfall. Ice is also a major concern. I chose the quarter-inch mark because that's where we see the most significant marks. You see a very tight gradient on the north side and a very tight gradient on the south side. North of the area, you're going to see mostly snow. South of the area, you're going to see mostly rain, or the rain's going to immediately melt all of the freezing rain that would fall. That orange area is going to be 80% chance or more of quarter inch of ice, which a quarter of inch of ice will take out the power lines pretty easily. We could see areas over half an inch, maybe even an inch, especially in those red areas, say North Georgia, South Carolina, portions of northern Mississippi as well. Again, we're going to see impacts all the way from Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, almost an entire state of Tennessee, into Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina as well. So very significant ice impacts expected with this storm. The Dallas-Fort Worth area could even see significant icing causing power outages, and that's worth noting. And I'm erasing the map for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to probably draw something and talk about more things. But that's all I have for this. Stay safe. You do still have some amount of time, depending on where you're at. I'm highlighting the 50% chance or more of a quarter inch of ice. You do still have some time to prepare for this storm if you need to, especially if you're to the east of the Mississippi River. You can go shopping today, get a generator today, things like that, get blankets. If you're west of the Mississippi, good luck. Maybe you still have some time, but that time is dwindling very quickly. That's all for now. Chris Dixon, InfoWeather Media.